Hi everyone, it is Shantae, your favorite financial coach. I have offered a free template of the budgeting spreadsheet that I use, and I use this both personally and with my clients, and I just kind of edit it based off of our needs. So I want to kind of show you how it looks. I have a made up person's name up here at the top. Sorry, my video is a little wonky. And I also like to list the goals at the top. The reason why I do this is because when you're working on a budget and you're working on financial goals, it's good to remind yourself why you're doing it. So for this one, I said that they are wanting to spend less than they make. They want to create an emergency fund and they want to pay off debt. Sorry, you can't see that very well with the lighting. Now, I just want to kind of break down what the sections are and how I use them. The notes on the side, don't worry about that. I'll tell you about it as we're going. The first thing that we need to write down is all the set bills. These are the bills that you pay every single month that are either auto drafted or you just pay manually or whatever. But you're going to write those down. Those are going to be things like the rent, car insurance, utilities, cell phones, things like that. The things that I have highlighted in yellow are debts, which I'll show you lower down on the spreadsheet. But I just kind of highlight them in the monthly bills because those are variable bills that I can adjust to kind of use up income. So I also put at the top that their income, the made up income that I did was $4,000 a month, and that they get paid about $2,000 biweekly. And again, of course, all of that is adjustable. Put in your information, your goals, your bills. All of this stuff is editable. So instead of utilities, you can put propane. Of course, if I could spell, you can edit the amounts. Let's say 150 instead of 100. All of this stuff is editable. The only thing I say I do not want you to edit are these purple sections right here. And the reason for that is because these purple sections are actually equations. So if you mess with those equations, you're going to mess with those numbers. So if you see, let's say you want to add something on here. So you've also got to pay, I don't know, let me think of something. A trailer. You've got to pay for a trailer, and the price you pay on that is $50 a month. You're going to see that the total bill is going to jump up by $50 a month. So you can edit, you can remove, you can change all of this stuff. Just don't change those purple sections. Okay, so now as we scroll down a little bit more, you're going to go into the variable spending. These are things like groceries, gas, clothing, things that you are going to be spending on either monthly or every couple of months. You can add and remove things. For me, for my kids are not in school yet, but I tend to do clothing for them like seasonally. So what I'll do is instead of having clothing listed on there every single month, I will add and remove clothing budgets as I need them. So again, you can edit all of these. Instead of groceries, you could put something else. You could add fast food budget on here. Again, do not change these purple areas because they are equations. If you need to add a row, so let's say you've got more than just this variable spending. This is on Excel. You would right click and click insert, and then it'll insert a line for you. And then you can still add it on. So let's say car washes, and you spend $50 a month on that. You could add that on and it'll change the total to $500. So again, edit this how you want. These are all made up numbers. You will see these on the template that I send you. The only reason why I keep them on there is just kind of show you what needs to go there. This spent section, what I like to do is every pay period, I go over what I've been spending in each of these categories and I update them. So let's say this person's paid bi-weekly. So say their next paycheck is on the 1st. So I'll go over the spending over those periods. Let's say they did 75 on groceries, 30 on gas, 40 on clothing, and you can adjust those. It kind of, for me, it gives me a visual of how much I have left of that budget to last me until the next paycheck, or to last me to the rest of the month. Not everybody likes to use this section, but for me that works. So your choice if you want to use it. Now next, as we go down, these are the different debts that I have had listed up here in the top in yellow. And the reason why I have them listed separately down here is so we can show a debt payoff plan. So on here, I have each of the debts listed with their interest rate, the balance, and their minimum monthly payments. And I put order of repayment here to set up the order of repayment. So let's say they want to do the snowball method. The way the snowball method works is you pay the lowest balance first, which would be this credit card number 2. Then you roll over and you start paying on the next lowest balance, which would be this one. Then you would go to car loans. Then you would go to student loans. So let's say you're doing the snowball method, you would pay $15 a month plus anything extra you can afford. So let's say you're doing $200 extra. You're going to make a payment of $215 every single month until this one is paid off. Then when you're done paying off that one, you're going to pay that $215 plus the $25. So that'll be $240 every single month until this one is paid off. Then that one is paid off. You're going to go on to the next one. You're going to add $200, so that's $440 every single month until that one's paid off. This method allows you to pay the debt off faster, which saves you on interest rate, but it also does not reduce your monthly spending because you continue to roll that amount over until you pay off those debts. So the other method would be the avalanche method, and the avalanche method looks at the interest rate. So these interest rates are 24%, 8%, 20, and 4. You would pay the interest rate with the highest amount first, which would be, this one. Then you would pay this one. Then you would pay this one. And then you would pay this one. So in the avalanche method, we have them listed in order of highest interest rate to lowest. You would pay the first one, let's say $25 a month, and you have an additional $200. So you're going to pay $225 a month every single month until this one is paid off. When that one is paid off, you're going to continue to pay the $225 plus adding the $15. So that's $240 a month every single month until this one is paid off. And you continue doing that until they are all paid off. So you can add those, you could start putting order of repayment on there whenever you want. You can avoid doing that until you are able to pay off debt. If you do not have an emergency fund, I suggest getting an emergency fund before you start paying off that debt. But it's up to you. This is your budget. You make the rules. I also have listed here the total debt that this person has and their monthly payments. Again, you can add and remove. You can change all of these numbers, all of these labels. These are all just suggestions. Again, do not change these purple areas. Now let's go on to the next section of the budget. This would be the sinking funds. For me, I think of sinking funds as mini savings accounts. They could be short-term, they could be long-term. Generally, I keep the basic emergency fund as a savings account that's separate from everything else, but you could have these other ones put together in different accounts, whatever you like to do. So let's say this person has a goal of $1,000 in their emergency fund, plus they need a car, pay for their wedding, and go back to school. The back to school thing, you could save on it. Let's say your kids, I think kids go back to school in August, September. I don't know. My kids are too young for that. But anyways, let's say you don't want to save on it throughout the year, but you want to save on it 3 months a year. So you would say you need $1,000, you would pay $333 a month into that balance 3 months out of the year to get that $1,000 when you need it for school. Say they're trying to work on a car, again, set how much you're going to put in there, and then just add this balance up every single month once you put money in. And again, add and remove sinking funds as you would like. Now here is a paycheck breakdown. This is where you can customize it based off of how many paychecks you had. This person, I said they were paid bi-weekly, so I have it broken down into 2 paychecks. At the top, we have their income that they're getting from that paycheck. Again, feel free to edit these ones. So let's say instead of getting $2,000, they got $3,000 that paycheck. You can edit that and it'll update totals everywhere. But we're going to keep it at that $2,000 for now because that's what I listed at the top. Now the bank balance, it says right now that they have $100 in the bank. Let's say that on the 1st, that's what they have. You put it there. If not, you can change the amount. Again, it'll change the math in other locations, but that's fine because you want it to be accurate. So all of that adjusts. I'm going to put this back to the 100 that I had it. All right, so first thing you're going to do in the weekly budget is you're going to list all of the bills that are due between this period. So here's the bills that are due between this period and the total amounts. After the income and what's in the bank, this is what they have left. Then you're going to add in the variable expenses. So the gas, the fuel, the clothing, the spending. This is what you have left. And then you can move on to the sinking funds. This is how much you need left in the sinking fund, because as you can see there up here, there was 800 and the goal is 1,000. And then this is what they're paying this paycheck into these sinking funds, and this is what they have left. Now, do not let these numbers distract you. These are imaginary numbers that I put on there. If you can't put $400 a month into an emergency fund, then put 20. These numbers don't matter. Put your numbers in and do not get discouraged by what I have listed here. Now, I did the exact same thing for the second paycheck, listed the bank balance, the income they're going to be getting with that pay period, their regular bills that are due at that time, their variable expenses, and the sinking funds. Now, I hope I was able to explain this to you well. If you have any specific questions, I can help you out. Just send me an email. My email is s.rodriguez, RODRIGUEZ _financial, at yahoo.com. So s.rodriguez _financial at yahoo.com. Thank you, and I hope this helped you.